one of the three pillars of how we are moving the force forward. One obviously that deals with crime and public order. One that deals with transformation, modernization, and the third one is partnerships. Because we recognize as a force that without the partnerships that we can create, there's no aspect of what we do that belongs to us alone. And we provide, in a partnership, there are two ways. So we provide something, and our partners provide something, and together we get synergy. So the sum total of what we do is greater than if we were doing it apart. And I think that that is important, and whenever I go into a partnership, if we carry the JCF into any partnership, we are looking as much as what we can give as what we can get. Once you do that, you're creating the conditions for long-lasting and very developed partnerships that can go all the way. So we're looking forward to even beyond this, which is fantastic, other types of partnerships with PAHO going forward.
There is a software that is associated with all of what we're doing here. And that software is a software that will allow members of the organization in their own space, in their own time, at their own convenience, to enter onto that software and to do their own assessment of their levels of stress. So they go onto the platform, and the platform is going to direct them to the link, the scan, or the link that we receive all around the place. And I think there are some people who have already scanned or gone onto the link this morning. And so what it will do, it will give you a score. And that score will actually tell you, how stressed am I really? Because you could be really very stressful because you have to come to a place where you have to find a position that you have to continue doing what needs to be done. You overlook that and you keep going until your body starts to talk to you, or your mind starts to talk to you in ways that is not very good. Alright, so you can have your score for your stress level, for depression, for post-traumatic stress disorder. But we can't talk about violence and exposure to violence to our police and not think that our police will really have more than a higher prevalence of PTSD than the general population. So what will happen is we go on this platform, you can scan, I think I've asked a couple of people to scan this morning, or follow the link, and you can actually answer questions, and you get a score for depression, a score for perceived stress, and a score for post-traumatic stress disorder. And you're going to get back almost immediately after you submit that, a report that tells you what your score is for each of those disorders, and whether or not your score is in the normal range, moderate, severe, and whether or not you need help. And so I want to commend and thank PAHO for partnering with us for this beautiful tool that we really believe is one that is going to give the police a certain level of comfort that you can just go on and check out what's going on with their bodies and with their minds.
So let me just take one moment to underscore three particular issues around NCDs. One is, of course, we are already in an NCD pandemic. Interesting to talk about the pandemic, of course, because we're always talking about a different one these days. Of course, from COVID-1 that we are dealing with a pre-existing one with NCDs. In Jamaica, 80% of all deaths are due to NCDs. And additionally, 30% of the NCD deaths are premature, meaning that they occur in people that are under 70 years of age. Lastly, when we think about NCDs, we recognize that it's not only an impact on us as individuals and our families, but it has a larger impact on society as a whole, because it has a huge impact on the workforce. A healthy workforce is key to national development, and NCDs often affect persons during their working years. Based on Jamaica's most recent investment case for addressing NCDs and promoting mental health, the country could prevent 137 billion Jamaican dollars in direct treatment costs, productivity losses, and social costs in the next 15 years by implementing the recommended NCD and mental health interventions. It's a tremendous issue facing Jamaica. As frontline workers, we know and we feel how personal health and wellness is a challenge during this pandemic. Nonetheless, each day, today included, we have the opportunity to take control over our own personal health. Ladies and gentlemen, PAHO recognizes the men and women of Jamaican Constabulary Force as an essential workforce on the front lines of emergencies and crises, including our current COVID pandemic. This morning's ceremony marks a collaboration between PAHO and JCF to enrich the wellness in this force. To this end, as has been mentioned, we are donating this wellness software and its corresponding license to the Medical Services Branch, corresponding tools that are necessary to support health promotion and health communications to address the specific needs of the JCF.
NCDs, we know it's on the rise generally in the population, and so there's no difference in the force. So we're going to see an increase in the prevalence of NCDs to include hypertension, to include diabetes, to include obesity. So what's happening in the general population is reflected back in the JCF. JCF is also possibly the most stressful job that anybody can, as a police, that anybody can actually embark on. So we know that all of the kind of violence that we're seeing, the police, they have to be in the middle and in the midst of that. And by extension, their family will also be impacted by that in some ways. So when we look at prevalences of the chronic disorders in the Jamaica Constabulary Force, it's higher than the general population. Now, there's a range of services that we have to address those things. We know that we have the medical doctors, we have nutritionists, we have psychologists, and so on. We have physiotherapists, we have clinical social workers. So there are a range of departments within the medical services branch of the Constabulary Force that aims to address all of these chronic diseases and other things. So there are programs that we have screening programs. So one of the things that we want to do is to make sure that we actually detect a thing before it is actually manifesting and the person starts to experience symptoms of the disorder. So we screen for a number of things. We screen for different cancers. Because sometimes we talk about NCDs and we forget the common cancers. We forget things like breast cancer, cervical cancer, prostate cancer, which forms a part of the health burden of the country. So we screen for those things, and of course we screen for what people would classically consider as NCDs, the hypertension, the diabetes, the obesity, the high cholesterol, etc., etc. So yes, there may be a little overrepresentation in terms of prevalence compared to the general population, but there's a whole slew of interventions which are in place to mitigate against these incidents.